Well, I actually was going to post a video just the other day about an update on where we are with the channel, and I just didn't get a chance to post it yet. I was actually going to post it today, and then we got the news, and that totally makes whatever I filmed irrelevant. So, it's time for an update. What's up, guys? It's Gage from the Rough Riders YouTube channel. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, at least somewhat of a wonderful end to the 2025 here. Unfortunately, it looks like that's it for the 2025 season when it comes to the Blue Angels. We just got news this morning, as of recording of this video, that the 2025 Blue Angels Homecoming Show, which is the biggest and final show for the Blue Angels over NAS Pensacola, has been canceled due to the government shutdown. So basically, for those who are not aware, the Blue Angels is a part of the U.S. Navy, which kind of requires the government to be open, right? They are taxpayer funded. However, when the government shut down just about a month ago, that means all non-essential programs must stop immediately. And that included the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds. Now, this happened on the week where the Blue Angels were supposed to fly in Cialis, California. And they were also supposed to take place at San Francisco Fleet Week, which is, again, a very huge air show, which I hope to stream for you guys in the near future. Maybe that is something we'll try next year. Maybe we'll try and do some more West Coast air shows, because I know getting to the West Coast is a little bit difficult, as you can tell, because I'm home based in Ohio. Although I'm not in Ohio currently. The past couple of months, ever since we got back from Branson, Missouri, I'm down here at Starbase, Texas. I've been helping out NSF do a bunch of camera work down here, as well as from the previous launch. Not Analyca. So that's where I've been, and really, part of that reason is, ever since the government shut down, we don't have really any air shows to stream for you guys. Now, you could say, well, you could still technically go to some of these air shows. It's just civilian performers, right? It's just not the Blue Angels. And while, yes, that's true, however, I don't think that's something you guys want. Now, let me know if I'm wrong, because based off of viewership counting, we streamed the Gary, Indiana air show. It's about a week before the Chicago Air and Water Show. And by the way, civilian performers, they are fantastic on what they do. Their performance is just crazy. Like, not a lot of people can do what they can do. So, hats off to them, and wow, do they do such an amazing job. However, it doesn't seem like you guys are really much interested in that. And the reason why I say that is that the Gary, Indiana air show had quite lower than normal viewership. And that's understandable, because the Gary, Indiana air show was really mostly civilian performers, and then we had the Thunderbirds at the end. Now, as for those who are not new to the channel, you know that we primarily follow the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds. We try to go to air shows that they are involved in, because that is something you guys like to see. And we were so thrilled to have them in our hometown in Columbus, Ohio this year. And Herb Gillen and the Columbus, Ohio Air Show, allowing us to be on base even before the show. They let us go to Branson a week after that. It was so cool to see them. But since the government shut down, Blue Angels basically can no longer perform. However, that doesn't mean that they're grounded, per se. And the reason why I say that is, as we said at the beginning of this video, NAS Pensacola is the home for the Blue Angels. And really, at any time, if the government was going to reopen, you have to stay fresh, right? Because when you're a Blue Angels pilot, you have to remain focused and fresh. So essentially, if you just not fly for 2 months or whatever, and then all of a sudden fly again, you could be a little bit dry. And when it comes to the Blue Angels, everything has to be so precise and so careful to get those maneuvers right. So you got to keep the pilots fresh, right? They have to keep flying. So even though they haven't been able to go to any air shows ever since the government shut down, they're still able to practice over NAS Pensacola. And in fact, there's a Facebook page called Blue Angels Practice Info. And by the way, shout out to them. They do such an amazing job reporting Blue Angels activity in Pensacola. So if you're a big Blue Angels fan and you happen to live in the Pensacola area, or maybe you just like to follow what they do, check out their Facebook page. Not sponsoring, by the way, but they just do such an amazing job. So hats off to them. But anyway, they've been doing off-scheduled practices daily, Monday through Friday, ever since the government shut down. We were ready, because our next air show was going to be Rome, Georgia, which is the Wings Over North Georgia air show. Really, really was looking forward to that one. And the Blue Angels were ready. They practiced for multiple days a week, and they were ready to go. However, they need to know by at least Wednesday before the air show if they're going to make the trip or not, because for those who follow the Blue Angels a lot, they don't just show up on air show day, perform, and leave, right? They show up multiple days before. They have to do circles and arrivals. They do practices over the airspace because they have to learn their environment. And then, of course, do the actual air show and then fly home. But as we're in this continued unfortunate government shutdown, that did not allow that to happen. Not the end that we wanted. Really, I was hoping that the Blue Angels homecoming show was really going to be a spectacular bang to the end of the season. And unfortunately, we're kind of stuck where we are now. I do plan on doing a end of the year live stream to kind of just recap this amazing season that we have. Shout out to all of the people who watched us and supported us every step of the way. A lot of it I had to self-fund myself because, when it comes to making content on YouTube, the income is not guaranteed, right? And a lot of these air shows I actually did have to foot the cost on, but I wanted to keep doing it because you guys enjoy it. And to my knowledge, there's not a lot of air show live streamers out there on YouTube. Yeah, there's plenty of people who post videos and content, which they're amazing, by the way. But I don't know of a lot of them that follow the Blue Angels or Thunderbirds this much as we do. So that's what I wanted to do for you guys, and I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. And we've gained a whole lot more subscribers this season, which thank you so much. 2025 was obviously a lot more popular of a season than 2024 was, and I really do hope 2026 is going to be a great season when it comes to air shows. Unfortunately, Blue Angels season is done. They're done for the 2025 season at this point. Now, one more thing. You're probably wondering, well, the Blue Angels homecoming show is not till November 14th. They still got 2 weeks. Like, what happens if the government all of a sudden reopens tomorrow or whatever? Well, the problem is they need multiple weeks to get the contract set up. Because, it's not just like, hey, you want to fly here? All right, come on and fly. Like, they have to, sign up with the performers ahead of time. All the civilian performers, they got to sign contracts, all of that stuff. They need all that to be done months in advance of the show before they can proceed. And half of the planners can't work because of the shutdown. And we're at the point where they don't have enough time to, even if the government just magically reopens tomorrow, they don't have enough time to get everybody set in stone and booked, because they can't just rush this show together. It all requires time, precision, and performance schedules, and of course FAA airspace closures, all that good stuff. But either way, if we try and sneak down to Pensacola somewhere, maybe we'll try and do a video or maybe one more live stream, because we can't leave this air show season so dry. Like, literally the last air show we did was beginning of September, and here we are on Halloween, which, by the way, happy Halloween to those who celebrate. You know, it's sad. It really is. And I'm sure a lot of people in Pensacola and airshow fans all across the country who look forward to that Blue Angels homecoming show are probably extremely disappointed based off of the news. And I can tell you, we here at Rough Rider Show are absolutely devastated and disappointed as well that we have to end the season like this. But anyway, we're getting about 11 minutes into the video, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. So thank you guys so much for following us on the 2025 airshow season. Stay tuned. We're going to have a end of the season recap live stream coming up as soon as I get back to Ohio. I've been in Texas for, 2 months now. So as soon as I get back into Ohio, which is looking like maybe right before Thanksgiving, Tommy and I might spool up a end of the season live stream and kind of just relive the moments and relive it with you guys, right? We'll watch all of our airshow streams. We'll just kind of hang out with you guys, right? Since we weren't really able to do that next month anyway with the airshow canceled or the homecoming show canceled, maybe we'll try and spool up a live stream. But as always, check out the 24/7 Bird Cam stream that is also live on the channel 24/7. That's a stream that I do work on really, really hard, and we keep those cameras live 24/7. We pay for the bird food so you guys can love nature. So if you know somebody who loves nature, maybe you don't, maybe pass it along to them. They might enjoy. It's the 24/7 Bird Cam channel, which is live on the channel right now. And until then, we'll see you guys next time.